In the shadowy corners of professional tennis, a figure emerged with a plan so audacious, it threatened the very integrity of the sport. Known only as the Maestro, this mastermind orchestrated the most elaborate match-fixing syndicate the tennis world had ever seen, turning the game into a chessboard where every move was calculated and every player a potential pawn. From the glitz of the Grand Slams to the grit of the lower circuits, the Maestro's web of deceit wove through the ranks, challenging the notion of fair play and revealing a dark underbelly of tennis that many wished remained hidden until his arrest in September of 2023. Grigor Sargsyan, aka the Maestro, immigrated to Belgium from Armenia with no prior connection to tennis and turned a modest investment of $350 into millions. He likened himself to a Robin Hood figure in the sport, establishing an international network that reportedly included players in the United States and convincing them to participate in match fixing. Sargsyan was sentenced to 5 years in prison by Belgian authorities after a SWAT team apprehended him at his parents' home, concluding a thorough investigation. His operation led to numerous lifetime bans and suspensions in the tennis world, with authorities describing it as one of the largest match-fixing scandals ever uncovered. Yet merely the tip of the iceberg. Prosecutors highlighted the scale of this scheme, involving more than 181 players and 375 matches. Investigations revealed that Sargsyan's network targeted lower-tiered players who would agree to lose points, games, or sets for money, allowing his associates to profit from betting on these predetermined outcomes. In some cases, both players in a match were under Sargsyan's influence. His illicit earnings, estimated to be at least $9 million over 2 years, were funneled into accounts associated with a collaborator operating from Armenia on behalf of a criminal syndicate. Sargsyan, also known by multiple aliases, including Gregory, Gigi, and Ragnar, targeted players struggling financially on the Futures and Challengers Tour. One such player, Ioannis Rachidi, was implicated in 135 match-fixing incidents in less than 10 months, setting a record before receiving a lifetime ban. French player Yannick Thavant, who allegedly received over $50,000, was among 4 players detained in France in 2019, though charges were never pursued. Sargsyan, who began fixing matches in 2014 while a law student, described the thrill of orchestrating his first fixed match, paying a player to deliberately lose a set. He lived a double life, maintaining appearances by working in his family's delicatessen, while lavishly courting players to secure their cooperation in his scheme. The revelation of Sargsyan's activities has led to tennis being regarded as highly susceptible to manipulation, with betting regulators naming it the world's most manipulated sport. Since 2022, 40 players have faced bans or suspensions for involvement in match fixing, highlighting the pervasive challenge the sport faces in combating corruption. Watching a tennis broadcast, the visibility of sponsorships is striking, providing some young players with a luxurious lifestyle off-court. Yet not all players enjoy such wealth. Many barely scrape by. The tennis hierarchy spans from the elite ATP Tour through the developmental ATP Challenger Tour down to the ITF, where juniors begin their professional journeys. With the bulk of earnings concentrated at the top, players outside the top 100 often struggle with the costs of coaching, travel, and living, pushing some towards match fixing for financial gain. This issue is especially pronounced in the lower tiers, leading to numerous bans within the sport. An earlier instance involves Austrian tennis player Daniel Collier, who turned professional in 2002 at the age of 16. Collier was seen as a rising star, gradually climbing the ranks and making a mark on the Futures circuit. His career highlight came in 2009, when he advanced to the 3rd round of the US Open, ultimately losing to the tournament winner Juan Martín del Potro and achieving a personal best ranking of 55th. Despite his peak, Collier struggled to find consistent success at the sport's highest level. In 2011, his career took a downturn as he was implicated in match fixing, not only for rigging his own matches, but also for attempting to involve other players in similar schemes. Consequently, Collier received a lifetime ban from professional tennis and was initially fined $100,000, though the financial penalty was later reversed due to the limited financial gain of his actions. Collier's absence is unlikely lamented by his peers in the ATP, given his controversial behavior on the court and a reputation that left much to be desired. Diego Matos, a Brazilian doubles specialist, was discovered to have manipulated the outcomes of approximately 10 ITF matches over his career, which led him to being permanently barred from participating in the sport. In addition to the ban, Matos was fined $100,000. Compounding his offenses, Matos faced charges for his failure to cooperate with the investigative process, notably for his refusal to surrender his mobile phone for examination. Throughout his career, Matos achieved his peak performance rankings at 241st in doubles and 518th in singles. Daniele Bracciali, an Italian tennis player, was convicted of engaging in match fixing within the premier echelons of men's tennis, specifically on the ATP Tour. In 2018, he received a lifetime prohibition from the sport and was ordered to pay a fine of $250,000 for manipulating outcomes in matches at the top level. The pivotal case leading to his conviction involved a first-round doubles match at the 2011 Barcelona Open, in which Bracciali and his partner were defeated by Kevin Anderson and Simon Aspelin. Karim Husam, an Egyptian tennis player recruited into the Maestro syndicate and who first appeared on the ATP Tour in 2014, was initially seen as a promising talent in the sport. However, merely 4 years into his professional journey, Husam faced a lifetime ban and a $15,000 fine for his involvement in numerous match-fixing activities. He was notably accused of being a central figure in orchestrating match-fixing operations, persuading around 20 players to participate in his fraudulent schemes for financial gain. These incidents, while significant, may have flown under the radar for many fans of the sport, or were only briefly mentioned in public discussions, leaving them largely unnoticed or forgotten over time. One match-fixing scandal that captured worldwide attention in the tennis community involved Nikolai Davydenko, who was ranked 4th globally at the time. This incident unfolded during the Orange Procom Open in Poland in 2007, where Davydenko, a top contender, faced off against Martin Vassallo Arguello, who was ranked 87th. Despite Davydenko's status as the clear favorite, betting platforms like Betfair witnessed an unusually high volume of bets, over 7.3 million, favoring Arguello, a sum far exceeding expectations for a second-round match, especially against such an underdog, skewing the odds in his favor. Davydenko initially dominated the match, winning the first set, but his performance declined due to physical issues with his foot and ankle, leading to his withdrawal in the third set. The unexpected turn of events prompted Betfair to suspend and annul all wagers related to the match. The ATP launched an investigation, but ultimately failed to uncover any evidence of wrongdoing by either player, leaving no grounds for penalties or bans.